Hop water. This video is not brought to you by Hop Water. So if you remember in one of my last videos, I was gifted about 165 or so of these things. They're MFD boards that were shelves in a building they were tearing down. And I've been painting on them. This one is probably, Colorado Sunset. And I like how this one's turning out. I'm playing. So I've just put paint on one side, squeegeed it across, and just kind of played with it. So I like how this one turned out. Sorry, that was loud in the microphone. This one isn't really anything. I'm just, again, playing with color, seeing what I like. Oh, hi. You don't have to apologize ever in my videos, sweetheart.
Okay.
I'll cut all this out. No, I'm just kidding. I might just leave it in as a blooper. Love you more. Oh yeah, I'm still rolling. That is a blooper. Gotta remember not to hit my microphone. Mister, your zipper's down. There we go. So in this one, I'm just using a brush, just as we call it in the business, laying in color. Sort of like a little abstract house down here, mountains in the background, but trying to still keep it loose enough that it can just be whatever. This one is more of the squeegee going across in some ways and then coming back over it with some blue paint. Just having fun. Just having fun on these. So my wife had suggested, I was going through a lot of my old journals, and my wife suggested that I do some of my sketches on here. She really likes how I sketch. So I thought, well, okay, I'll try. So now we're getting into a little bit more realistic sky, foreground, background, and a red barn. So I don't know that I love this direction. It's just fun to do. So this one is actually based off of a smaller one I've done with epoxy resin. I really like kind of just this abstract, organic feel. This one's not done. I'm still going to play on this one. And then there's this one where I'm just, again, smearing paint across. I really like this one. It's very painterly and kind of like, almost like a palette. Now, one thing I have noticed, I've got to not do this, is that when I stack these, when I think they're dry, I'll stack them. I shouldn't do that. It's pulling the MDF. I don't know if you can see this on there. It's pulling the MDF off on the backside. So I've got to come back in and touch up a couple of areas. I don't like that. I got to remember not to do that. And this is like one of the more finished pieces that I did. And it is one that I actually titled and signed for 2026. Christus Victor by Major Chisholm, 2026. So what I want to do, I haven't decided, should I build a frame that's flush with the edge all the way around, or should I just recess a box that's kind of just in here? It'd be kind of the same, but it would still hang off the wall, but give a lip to the edges. I haven't decided yet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing with 156, 65, something like that. I've actually started painting on about 8 of those. I shared with my buddy Shane that I feel like, I hate the term feel like, but in this case it's appropriate. I feel like I'm learning to paint all over again. And there's part of me that doesn't like it, and there's part of me that loves it. I'm not sure what that's about. My friend Shane says, "Oh, that's easy. Midlife crisis." Very well could be. Very well could be. So I'm used to painting on big canvases, or at least 24 by 24 or 36, and this is making me confine and really look at stuff. I've done smaller work before. Here, I've got a stack right here that I don't know what to do with. Again, this is just me playing, and this is more epoxy resin and just playing with colors. Love that one. This one's just me painting on smaller pieces of wood. Love that one. Love this one. This one reminds me of Christmas. And this one's for sale. It's ready to go. I've signed it, got it on the back. Love how that turned out. Nah, that one's garbage. Some of these I haven't done anything with. I've just laid in color. This is an old, no, I thought it was the old chalkboard, but it's not. And yeah, I just painted both sides, laying in color. Again, some of these look like palettes, but I'm not using them as palettes. It's just what they do. That's what they look like. Again, playing, haven't finished these. Epoxy resin pieces. Some of these are finished, and I'll probably drop them in the mail to some people, unbeknownst to them, so they can have some of my artwork. I believe you should be giving your artwork away from time to time. Again, just playing. It was his epoxy resin phase. This was his red epoxy resin phase. So, on wood. This one's fun. Love that. My favorite's coming up. This is not it. This looks like a sugar cookie from Christmas. Anybody want a sugar cookie painting? Comment below. I'll send it out to you. I kid you not. First person says I want that sugar cookie painting, I'll send it to you. My favorite. I'm going to show you the side that's not my favorite. So that's not my favorite. This side's my favorite. And I'm not sure how it should go. You tell me. Which way does it look the best? I think probably something like that. It also reminds me of like a spaceship or something flying in. Love how that turned out. With some epoxy resin. And then just doodling, playing with epoxy resin. And again, playing with epoxy resin, signed, ready to go. So anyway, so for as much fun as I've had doing those with the epoxy resin, these I feel they're just something different. And I'm not quite sure that I'm satisfied with them, the way they're turning out. But I think it's going to be part of the process of when I get there. One of the things I would love to do, since I have so many of the panels, I would love to just number all of them, 1 through 165, not as a more of like a series, or not necessarily a set, or like a triptych or something, or a series is usually, or a run of like prints is usually 1 of 50, 2 of 50, 3 of 50. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be more of a series. Like all of these are numbered, and there may be 10 that are like this, and then there might be 20 or 30 that are more faith-based or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I do feel like I'm learning how to paint all over again out here in my studio garage. And I love it. But at the same time, I'm struggling. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm giving myself the freedom to experiment and play. And just play. Even if they don't see the light of day. I've got 156 canvases, and if I flip them, I can just double that number. But yeah. But I want to figure out how to mount them, make those look professional. I want to have a body of work that when a gallery or, a yeah, like a gallery or like a show comes up. We have a show that comes up in the summertime. It's called Art in the Park, and I thought about renting a booth, putting up a booth and selling my wares and such, my fine artwork. But we'll see. I don't know if I want to pay for that only to not sell anything. So I'd much rather you guys say, "Hey, I like that painting. I'll buy it from you." Direct to customer. So consumer, client, direct to client. That's what I'd love for this art channel to be. You see something you like that's abstract and funky and weird. The one I didn't show you, I said, nah, that's garbage. It's this one. um, it's house swatches from like Home Depot or somewhere. It's the it doesn't say. I don't know if it's bear or whatever. It's not bear. But anyway, but I just threw these little houses up there just to be funny. So anyway, if you love it, you can buy it, have it. Yeah. Oh, the age old question: what to price your artwork? DM me, and I will we'll work that out on the back end. So yeah, that's all I've got. That's what I've been working on. I've been having fun. It is fun, but again, I mean, I'm not scared. Like, oh, it's just learning a new way of painting, and it's not. I'm pushing myself away from the continuous line. I think that in me has run its course. Um, so I wanted to push myself away from letting that continuous line almost be an afterthought, or not use it at all. And there's a couple of other uh, things that I'm saying, like, nope, I don't want to do that in this painting. I don't want to paint like I've been painting. I want to paint. I don't know. I've never had a niche or a style in my artwork. I have always set out, like when I've done commissions or I've done other work, I've always set out to do excellent work and try to make a masterpiece out of each painting. And but I've never had a style. Like what's my style? If you were to, I don't know, pull up one of my paintings and 100 years from now, would people be like, "Oh, that's a Chisholm," And not that I feel like I need that. I don't need that, but I'm wondering if I give myself the freedom and just to come out here and play on these panels, will a style start to develop? And that's kind of what I'm interested in. So anyway, that's the journey I'm on right now. Keep checking back in. I've got I've got a pretty big canvas over here. It's probably 5 feet by 3 feet that I'm working on, and because I have to paint big, and so I'll show you all that here in a few weeks. But other than that, yeah, I'm just plugging along, having fun, listening to a ton of rock and Americana, loving it in the garage while I'm when I can sneak out here and paint. My wife and daughter are making birthday and Valentine's Day cards inside, and so I was like, I'm gonna go to the garage and paint. So they're in there making those for friends and family and me. I got a birthday coming up, 2/22. So this is the peach flavor. It's really good. It's got I was reading this the other day. The ingredients: carbonated water, vitamin C, and hops and natural flavors, L-theanine and ashwagandha. So it's got all the vitamins and minerals your brain needs. Zero sugars, 0 calories, 0 carbs. It's great. No fake sugars either. It's just flavor. It's really good. I really appreciate y'all watching. Thanks. I'm going to get back into it and crank the music. And I hear Megadeth has a new album out. I might throw that up. Or might just stick to my Skillet playlist on Pandora. How do you price your work? I've watched so many YouTube videos. I've even made a YouTube video on how to price work. I don't even know if I agree with that. I think if someone really wants my work, we can come to a price agreement. That's the best way I know how to price my work. I'm not one of those artists that's like, oh, my work, I'm going to charge by the square foot or the inch or the whatever. And I'm not one of those artists that's like, my work's worth $10,000. No, I really want my work to be in people's homes. And so if you want my work, let me know. I'd love to get it in your home, on your mantle, in your kid's room, in your Airbnb, wherever, at your office. Let me know. I've got stuff. Yeah, anyway, I've got artwork here. I'm going to start a series just talking about the pieces that I have and what they mean to me. And yeah, so it's going to be like a segment, almost like a docent segment. Like, what's this piece about? Well, let me tell you why I did this and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, all right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Let's do this. Let's make some artwork. Let's put some artwork in some people's houses because that's where it belongs. Your walls are my museums. So, see ya. Well, I can't do it. You're over there. So, I'm going to shut up now and go paint. Look at all those panels. There's a lot of panels. Thanks, guys. Now I can do it. See ya.